No, we ended pretty early. Depends on how comfortable you guys are. So how was Friday, first of all? Is it okay? Get a little bit of practice in. So I see the answers in the back there for the 3 multiplying and then the 3 dividing ones. Obviously, you need multiplication to do division. So it's kind of like double multiplication practice right there. Maybe even triple, because you kind of have to do it twice just to do division. And hopefully you, like, within like multiplying and within dividing, you're still kind of practicing adding and subtracting, like knowing to put like regular numbers together and then all your I numbers together and getting there. And so what I'm hoping we can do, this is kind of like my tentative thought for figuring out how the next 7 school days, including today, are going to go, because this is it. What I'm hoping we can do is take today and just focus on division only, because obviously that's the most complicated one with the ugliest looking answers. I mean, if you look at the answers, 4, 5, and 6, 11 over 50, and 8 over 15, and 22 over 17, like the numbers don't always work out really nicely. And that's okay. It's just kind of something we have to deal with. But if we can do that, then we can probably do everything else. So what I'm hoping today will be is just a good division day. Whatever you did Friday, if you did something, make sure you put that up on Canvas. I don't care if it's incomplete. I don't care if it's wrong. You show me you did something on Friday, so I can give you some credit for it. Today we'll do just division, and that'll be it in terms of learning or practicing new stuff. Tomorrow we'll do our completion and effort quiz, okay, which will have adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing.
Are we allowed to use notes?
Of course, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Wednesday, we'll do one for correctness. Smaller ones, nothing too big, maybe 30 or 40 points, something like that. And then that'll be it. And instead of me starting something new on Thursday and teaching that for a couple days, and it really not sinking in, I'm just going to stop. Okay, what's up, Brett? I'm just going to stop on Thursday and start getting you ready for the final. Okay? Because you're going to see that once we go back to January, that was like quadratics, negative b over 2a and quadratic formula and vertex and like all this stuff, factoring. We have inverses. We've done a lot of things since January, and all of that stuff is fair game going into the final. So I want to make sure that I give you ample time to do a couple things. Number one, like actually just practice. I'll make a review with a whole bunch of practice problems. You can do as much as or as little as you think you need to. Number two, start creating a note card for that day of the final. Okay, you're going to get a full sheet of cardstock from me. You can put anything handwritten on there that you'd like. And Thursday would be a day where you kind of start creating that. And we'll have Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday to get those kind of things done. The other thing that I think would be a good use of your time over those 4 days would be to make up things that you are missing if you're missing things. Okay, if I give you class time dedicated to that kind of opportunity, okay, you leave yourself no outs when the end of the year comes and you're still failing. Okay, if I'm talking to you, if you are still missing a bunch of stuff and you want a chance at passing, okay, I'll reach out to you. I'll reach out to the folks at home. You know where you're at. They know where you're at. I know where you're at. Okay, if you don't get it done, you will fail. And that's on you. Okay, the ball is now in your court, and I'm giving you so much of a chance to get passing, and I want to help you do that. So if you need help with anything, okay, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, those are the days to come reach out, because everybody else that is kind of set, right, have done everything that they wanted to do, have a grade that they're okay kind of going into the final with. The final will not make a big impression on your grade one way or the other, okay? It's not like sitting there weighted 20% of your grade. I think that that's unrealistic as to expect that much weight to be put on a test during the week where you have 3, 4, 5, 6 other tests you have to take. I would much rather put the weight of the semester on all of the work that you've done. this semester, and a lot of you really worked your butt off, and you deserve a high grade for that. So I don't want a final to ruin that. So the final will just go in as a test out of 100. It's not going to be worth a whole lot of your grade. Okay, it'll probably amount to being like 10% of your overall grade. That's it. Okay, so not going to make a huge difference one way or the other. Everything else counts for a whole lot more. So if your classwork grade is really bad right now because you have a lot of missings, you got 4 days in here dedicated to making that stuff up. Right? If your test category, your quiz category is not great because you have some missings, you got 4 days to do it. Okay, and I'm giving you class time to do it. So I want to make sure that we have that chance. Yeah.
Is next week the last week?
This is our last full week of school.
Okay.
Monday, Tuesday, we have regular class of next week. And then Wednesday is the start finals. So starting Wednesday, the 19th, you have period 1 and 2 finals on Wednesday, then afternoon off. Thursday's graduation, so Thursday the 20th, no school at all. We just go to graduation in the morning, anybody that wants to come. I know there's some kind of limited seating, but talk to a senior if you want to take it. Friday, so Wednesday 1 and 2, Thursday we're off for graduation. Friday's tests for period 3 and 4. So all your mornings will be done next week, and then again off Friday afternoon. Then we go through the weekend. 5 and 6 finals. Of course, one of those is going to be your lunch. Is Monday the 24th, and then our final is that Tuesday, that last day of finals. Tuesday, May 25th, because we're period 7 will be the first, right? Because 7 and 8 in the morning, and then you're done. Okay. Now, speaking of that day, the day of the final, number 1, I will not be here proctoring your final. Okay, the day before my son is going in for surgery, so I'm taking Monday and Tuesday off. Okay, so I can be home with him. It should be relatively simple procedure, and he should be just fine. But anytime a 1.5-year-old goes under anesthetic, it's something you want to kind of keep an eye on. So especially a kid with a heart condition. So I'm going to take Monday and Tuesday off so I can be with him. But your final is going to be on campus. Okay, I'm going to create a quiz, a multiple choice quiz that you take right through Canvas, so that you can just choose the right answer. So make sure you bring a device with you. Okay, and you can do it on your phone, worst case. But what you'll see, this classroom is going to be set up differently to do it. I'm going to have kind of like a square going around the outside of the classroom with everybody facing the wall so that you have the least chance for accidentally peeking at somebody else's. It's natural that your eyes might go in that direction unintentionally, but if we were like facing this way, people in the back have 4 computers, maybe 5 or 6 that they can see, and that's not fair compared to the people in the front row that and accidentally look at nothing, right? So, and again, the final does not make a big difference on your grade one way or the other. So the drive to take it honestly, hopefully, is still pretty high. Yeah.
Can I borrow a pencil?
Yes. Just okay, to sharpen it might be okay. Okay, so make sure, and I will remind you throughout the next couple of weeks that you bring a device with you on Tuesday the 25th for our final. Miss Sigmund will be in here proctoring, so she's a math person, so if you do run into issues, she can certainly help. But as soon as you press submit, you'll know what you got. And it's going to grade itself for you. Good question.
So once we finish the final, like if we finish early, do we have to wait and stay until?
Yes, because it's the period 7 and not the period 8. If it was the last test of the day, then I would just let you go.
Okay, because I have 8 off, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to talk to the department and just get on the same page.
Yeah.
Whatever everybody's doing is fine with me. I just don't want to say one thing and then everybody else is doing something else, whichever way, right? Okay. So I'll get back to you for sure. Okay, cool. Let's do this. Let's spend the next 20 minutes or so kind of recapping some stuff from the end of last week, Friday and even Thursday when I was here. So if you haven't done it yet, take out something to write with, something to write on, and let's do some division practice. We'll do one together I'll make up 3 of them for you, so you can try those out, so you can make sure you can do it on your own. Nothing to submit to me necessarily today, but this will be good for you for tomorrow to have some examples to look at, that may, in addition to whatever you did on Friday, so you feel pretty good. Okay. So again, you don't have to submit it, so put this wherever you want, but let's do this one together first. Okay. Dividing complex numbers would be a whole lot easier if I could just divide straight down, but as we saw on Thursday, it just doesn't work. We want it to work out that way, but it just doesn't work. So, I want to do like 6 divided by 2 and 8i divided by 4i and, get 3 plus 2i, but just, that's not the answer. So, as much as we want it to be. So instead, and hopefully this kind of comes back to you a little bit from Friday or from Thursday when I taught it, there's a really solid, always kind of count on it way over here on the left, right, on how to divide complex numbers. It always, always, always works. Because the key for us is getting rid of the I down here. The fact that there are 2 things down here is the part that we don't like. Okay, and if we can get it down to just 1, give me 1 single number at the bottom, then I can divide each one separately, and I'll deal with whatever I get. And we keep seeing, sometimes these numbers just aren't nice, right? They don't end up being perfect, whole, amazing fractions or whole numbers, and that's okay, right? If you get 13/27, whatever, it's just a number, okay? We'll let the numbers take care of themselves, and we'll go from there. And so we figured out this nice 3-step process, and I want to just recap it with you so you can see it and give you a chance to try, and we'll be done, okay? And so what we found that works in order to get rid of I down here is to multiply by what's called its complex conjugate. And the only difference is the sign in between. Okay, numbers are all the same. Everything's the same. I'm going to multiply top and bottom, okay, by whatever the complex conjugate is of the denominator, because when we multiply conjugates together, stuff cancels. And we love that, okay? Powers of I can always be reduced, because I squared is just -1, so that's awesome. And if the regular i's add to 0, then they're gone anyway. And that's what we figured out, is that if we multiply by, instead of 2 plus 4i, let's multiply by 2 minus 4i, changing just the sign in between, we'll be good to go. So cool. Okay, and so let's multiply the bottom by 2 minus 4i for sure. Now, I don't care about the top, right? I don't care what this is. I care only about the denominator's conjugate, because that's where I have the issue, okay? So if we multiply by 2 minus 4i on the bottom, what should we multiply by on top?
2 plus 4i, 2 minus 4i.
Whatever this is.
Yeah.
Whatever the thing you multiply by on the bottom, make sure you do it on top, because that's just multiplying by 1, right? Anything divided by itself is 1. So I'm not changing the number, I'm just changing how it's written. Okay? I expect up top to still have some i's left over, and that's okay, right? But on the bottom, we're going to get rid of every single one, right? And the way to do that is to multiply all the tops together, right? Distribute straight across, and multiply the bottoms together. And so if those parentheses help you remember, oh, I got to distribute, that's cool. You don't need to draw them. You just have to remember, oh, I got 2 things up top times 2 things up top. That's 4 different things I better end up with, 4 different terms of what I'm doing. And so here we go. So this is the same as one big, huge fraction where all the top gets multiplied out. I'm just going to put that on top. The whole bottom gets multiplied out. I'll put that on bottom. Okay? And when we distribute, right, this 6 goes into both of these, and the 8i goes into both of those as well. Keeping track of the signs as we go. Sign in front of the number is what I care about. So here we go. 6 times 2. Nice. That's just 12. That's easy. But what about 6 times, again, sign in front, -4i? Positive 6 times -4i.
Minus 24i.
Good. All right, the sign in front, we'll just keep track. 6 times 4, 24, and then there's only one I, so I can't change. Good. What about 8i times 2?
69.
Positive and positive, cool. So positive 16i, nice. What about this one? Positive 8i times negative 4i.
Can I say the answer?
Please.
Minus 32i.
So negative, because positive times a negative. And then what?
32i squared.
32, because 8 times 4. And then, yeah, I times I squared. Perfect. And it always kind of looks like this. You got a number, a couple i's, and then an I squared. A number, a couple i's, and then an I squared. If you're multiplying out in the same order that I usually do, like take care of this number first, and then this number, we should be good to go. All right, so let's do it down here too. So a number first, cool. 2 times 2 is 4. There's my number. Here should come a couple i's, and they're all lined up. So you know if you're doing it right, if everything kind of lines up nice. 2 times negative 4i. Okay, negative 8i. 4i times 2, there's positive 8i. Remember, look how I draw my eyes, right? A little tail on the end so that I can kind of tell them apart. And then positive 4i times negative 4i. So positive times negative is negative. 4 times 4 is 16. And then I times I is I squared. And if you can get to here, you know how to multiply. The rest is just kind of simplifying things down a little bit. And what I want to try to do is make it look like this. Here's my goal. A couple things up top at the most, and then definitely no more than one thing on the bottom. And the thing that I always take care of first is the I squared. Because we know what I squared is, right? It's negative 1. Which means I should be able to get rid of it. I should never have a power bigger than just I to the first. Anything above that, I should always be able to simplify. And since all we're doing is multiplying by negative 1, change the sign, keep the number, drop the I, right? So it goes from negative to positive, keep the number, drop the I squared. Negative 32 times negative 1, yeah, positive 32. Same thing here. Change the sign, keep the number, drop the I squared. And again, nothing I can do straight down, yet I can't like divide straight down. I got to put stuff together first. So let's see what we get. Still just one fraction here. Let's put all the real stuff together first, then the imaginary stuff. So 12, sign in front, plus 32, 44, right? 44, yeah. 44. And then what about negative 24i plus 16i? Negative I. Yeah. Real stuff first. 4 plus 16. That's an easy one. That's just 20. And what about minus 8i plus 8i?
I. 1. Negative 1.
Yeah.
Nothing. Gone. That's the whole point. The only reason we multiply by the conjugate is for this. I want the i's to disappear. And you can count on that every single time. We are never, ever going to have an I left on the bottom. If we're doing this right, if we actually multiply by the conjugate, guys are gone. And what that allows me to do is just divide each one separately, right? And I don't know that you need to write this step, but here it is. What you really have is 44 over 20 minus 8 over 20. And then I usually just pull the I out because numbers with numbers anyway. So I might as well leave the I on the side. And then I just make it look nice. And what I hope for is a perfect, nice whole number. But that is really rare that it works out that way. It's more likely we're just going to end up with some kind of fraction or some kind of decimal. Now, if it is a perfect decimal, go ahead and use it, right? 1.5, 2.75, whatever it is, right? If you're going to use the fraction, just simplify it. So, I don't know, break out a calculator, because I'm not doing any of this in my head. I'm going to let the calculator do it for me. What is 44 divided by 20? Okay?
11 to 5.
11 over 5, right? Now, how did you do that?
I divided 44 by 2 and then 22 by 2.
So you got 22
And then I
over 10, so still even, so you just kept going, right? And you can do that. You can simplify those fractions by yourself. Sometimes it's not always as easy as like, okay, I'm just going to divide by 2 until I run out of chances to do that. Do you know how to do that in the calculator? how the calculator can simplify your fractions for you?
Oh,
So take it out your calculator, because this one's huge. Because you're gonna see my multiple choice answers on our final are always gonna be the simplest fraction or the decimal. I'm never gonna leave 44 over 20 on there, so you wanna make sure you can type it in.
is it the first option?
What do you mean?
The second math?
Well, what do you gotta type in first? If you're trying to simplify 44 over 20,
Where do you put that fraction?
44 divided by 20 has gotta go in first. So type 44 over 20, press enter. What do you get when you press that? Like 2.2 exactly?
Yeah.
So that decimal has an end, right? So can we use it? Absolutely. So if your decimal has an end, I don't care which one you use, whether it's going to be, and obviously we're not done yet, this one or this one, okay? But if you have 2.2 sitting in your calculator, right? I think we figured it out. Press the math button. Look at option number 1. Arrow frac. Go ahead, press enter. Or press that option. Right, takes your last answer, change it to a fraction. Press enter one more time. What do you get?
11 over 5.
11 over 5, there it is. Okay, calculator can do it for you. Take your fraction, just write as division, press enter, you'll get a decimal. If it's nice, use it if you want. Or anytime you want, change it to the fraction version. Okay, but here's the thing, right? Not every decimal has an end to it, so we have to use a fraction sometimes. Which is why you will probably see the option, the only correct option is going to be the fraction, unless it was a pretty nice whole number. Okay, what about 8 over 20? Can we simplify that one? So minus. What's 8 divided by 20?
3/5, or 1/5. Like simplified, it should be 1/5. Right?
-4.
Or negative 0.4, but
Negative 0.4. So minus 0, like exactly?
yeah.
So can we use it?
Yeah.
Sure. But what is 0.4 as a fraction?
4 over 10.
4 over 10 simplifies to
2 over 5.
2 over 5. 2/5. And that's never something you have to guess at ever again. Calculator's there to do it for you. Type in whatever fraction you want to start with. If you get a decimal you like, awesome. There it is. Okay. Or, of course, the simplest fraction version, which the calculator does for you. So there's no more excuses or guessing. It's not excuses. You just don't want to guess because the calculator can help you out. Good? Feel like you got it? Let's find out. Let's do 3. Obviously, we got probably way more time than you'll actually need to do them, which is never a bad thing. I'll put the answers up shortly thereafter. You can see how you did. If you have questions, now will be the time. And like I said, tomorrow we'll do just a completion and effort with adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. So let's have to watch out for that. Correctness on Wednesday, and then we can start review on Thursday. Okay, let's make it up. We'll just do division though. Let's do like 3 plus 2i over 1 plus 2i. It's okay that those are similar. Conjugate is the only thing that matters. And remember, it's the denominator that I care about making the switch. I don't know. 6 plus 4i over 2 minus 3i. And then, I don't know, 2 minus 2i over 5 minus I. Try those 3. Nothing you need to hand in today, but this is going to help you out a lot tomorrow, Wednesday, to have good examples, especially since they're probably not going to work out all that nice. Maybe the fractions can be simplified, maybe not. We won't know until we get in there. We'll give them a shot. I'll do number 2 here in about a minute. I'll let you get out in front of me. Just try your best. Something like that to get you started.
Mr. Wilson.
Yeah.
So, on the top,
Uh-huh.
when you do the second step,
Mhm.
does a 24i and a plus 16i, does that cancel out as well?
No, they add together, and because the numbers are different, whatever they add to just goes in front of the I when you're done. So we'll always have an I left on top because these won't be conjugates of each other. Because if these were conjugates of each other and these were conjugates of each other, then this would have been the same from the beginning and everything would have just canceled out. So you're going to end up with something I on top when you're done.
Can you help me out real quick?
Yeah.
Just to make sure that I'm doing right. Sorry about my handwriting.
You're good.
So, I did that. Just wanna make sure that's right.
4I squared.
Oh, yeah.
4I squared. But yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah, let me do it. You can check to see how you do it. 3 minus.
Wait, sorry. But so -3, or not -3, sorry, 3, would I do plus 4i squared?
It's not plus 4I squared, it's just
Plus 1.
plus 4.
So I'll do 3.
The idea is that the I squared goes away and changes the sign of what's in front. Because I squared is just -1.
Alright.
So what that should do, we should be able to just do 3 plus 4. And then -6I plus 2I. One or the other, doesn't have to be both. Shouldn't be both. Pick one. And this one, you can't even simplify it, right? The fractions are already simplified. Great, nice, I don't have to worry about it. Oh, the decimals are great. Okay, I can use those. Either one's fine. It's actually worked out real nice. But that's how it looks basically every time. 4 things on the top, 4 things on the bottom. The I squared goes away, just changes the sign. Real numbers together, imaginary numbers together. Maybe we get lucky.
Miss Rose, you can go for a second.
If it works out that way.
Yeah.
But 12 minus 12 is 0. Right? So, yeah, right? So, and that's okay. Like, we can end up with 0 for one of our numbers. That's going to happen. So, yeah, 2. Looks good. Yeah.
I was gonna ask, are we gonna do the extra credit thing where we just go?
Not today. We can start that another time. Because I wanted to make sure that we get these right first. We'll have opportunities for extra credit all this week for sure. Especially once we get to review. It's kind of cool that it worked out. I didn't even plan for it to cancel out like that. I'm just gonna put it here so we see it. We obviously don't need the 0, but it's there. Plus. Again, I don't need the 0. I'm just bringing it with me. I like that. That's cool. I did not plan on that. Sweet. Sometimes you get lucky. Oh, wait a minute, I'm 4. But there's 2 and 3. Yeah. Sure. Bathroom. Thank you.
I know what I've noticed.
What's that?
Your handwriting has gotten a lot better.
Mine has?
Yeah.
Really? That's good. Well, I'm certainly aware how bad it used to be, so I think that helps slow me down a little bit. Yeah. I'll figure this teaching thing out one day.
Also, freshman year used to go like really fast, like it'd be really hard to like keep up with you, but now it's a lot easier.
I think that's the difference also between Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 is we have less to do this year. At least maybe in terms of like how much I need to teach you to get you ready for what's next, because I had to prepare you for like both geometry and Algebra 2. So good. I'm glad you feel like we're doing things at the right pace, right? Me too. I think we did a nice job this year, timing things out. Big old fraction.
Is this the last unit?
This is it. Yeah. Rather than starting something and doing it for like 2 days.
It's been fairly easy. Like,
Yeah.
So far.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
I hope so.
We're not gonna say that.
You had a first year, you fall asleep so much, man.
Me?
Yeah, I remember that. Like everyone would be like, drop a book in front of them and like scare them and Mr. Rosie. It's too nice to do that.
Was it-
Yeah.
Was that first year?
Yeah.
Freshman year.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's too nice to embarrass them.
Yeah, now, if I saw it, I just come up and just like, wow, 5 or 10.
I think I was fine.
So yeah, when you get to 3, 3 is super unique in that the real numbers up top happen to add to 0, and that's just kind of lucky. Still imaginary, still got an eye on it, so we're good. And I don't think dividing by 13 is all that nice, so I don't think we can use decimals on 4 like we could on 2.
As Rosie does this last one again.
So when you do negative I times positive I, it's negative I squared. Because the signs are different. So it's not minus one, but plus one.
Okay, yeah.
And maybe that's the thing that you start noticing. When you multiply number by its conjugate, this will always be negative. Because you're multiplying positive number times a negative one. It's always going to be negative. Yeah.
It's always a
Little things, yeah.
Easy peasy lemons.
No, I was taking a pass.
Whoa.
Look a little better now.
Chris and mine.
Yep. Nice.
No. He's mine.
Do I need to submit this under the camera?
Nope. No. I'm good. Just practice. And we got like 10 minutes. So here's another opportunity. If you are missing things and you need to start getting a jump on that, why not start now? 18th, last regular day of school. Okay, so a week from tomorrow is the last day to get old stuff to me. I'm saying that now so I don't get inundated on the 24th with a bunch of missing work because I'm just going to ignore it. Okay, the door closes on the 18th.
Yes, you did. Stop the line. Yeah.
You're terrible. I don't know. But
Maybe. I wouldn't tell you.
you should find out.
Well, I already know.
I already know. I kind of like.
He told me he was like,
No, he doesn't. Mm-mm. He doesn't.
Are you gonna say something?
I'm still very interested in that, which is not what I've been serious about for days, but. Really frustrating.
Like it's whatever.
You're right.
It's okay. What? What? I can't let go. No, I don't care. I was trying. Can we say we don't care? No, I don't. I told him no. He asked me on the date and I told him no. Okay, good. No, he didn't say that. He asked me on the date. Saying let's go out. Okay. No, he said, let's go to the museum. No. Dude, I could never go on a date. I just really. I don't. I just feel like once you're on a date, all the time.
So does this not work? Is it on?
It's not even about me, it just. Why are you all looking at me?
Is it on? Chris?
I'm not talking about this. Questions about you understand.
Who you guys talking about?
Oh, hey.
Who?
What's
Which one?
lots?
That's just major.